Chapter 14X, The Infernal Truth. In the hidden village of Arcadia stands an ancient temple. One of the legendary weapons is said to be hidden within. Roy and company are hot on the trail of Burns' troops, who have already made their way into the temple. Okay. But if you killed every last one of them, you wouldn't have gotten this guiding chapter. Yeah, they can't do anything. I siege the throne. Oh, a map full of water and there's a bunch of pirates here? Oh, goody. Okay, hold on. Everybody out for a second. What am I dealing with here? This is a really pretty map, though. It's worth it. They deserve it, even if you don't get the legendary weapon. You need to get all these guidance chapters to get the true ending. If you miss a single legendary weapon, when the game never tells you the conditions to unlock them, you get a bad ending. Or so I've heard. So, Oats! Oats! It's the wise sage Oats! Okay, I've got some, druids. Is there anyone with stuff that I could yoink? Doesn't really look like. There's no point bringing Chad this time, I don't think. But yeah, it's not really a bad end, just not as good then. Once I beat the game, I'm gonna have to look up what the other end is like. Alright, is there anything that I need to know for this map? Like any crazy reinforcements? Let's see here. 10 units. The bridges between platforms rise and fall, which could result in your units getting trapped in the water. Therefore, the flyers and Gonzalez are all recommended if you've been training them enough to be useful. Gonzalez if he's been promoted to Berserker. So being able to go across the water. Close to half the enemy units are axe fighters using mercenaries. Remember, okay, there's not really anything too important here. It's just not that everybody is happy good end. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of axe fighters here. It sure seems like. So, let's see here. Yeah, Roy always has to come. I can sort out some inventory here. What the heck? Get out of here. Put all my goodies away that I amassed during that map. Here, get that silver card that I worked hard for. Get that in there. Well, I guess item list is fine, but whatever, here. Oh yeah, that! Whatever, that 30 iron bow should be fine to see me through this battle. Yeah. Give me some more of those, please. Allies are temporary, carnage is eternal. You don't really need anything else. In fact, you don't really need that much stuff. I don't think here. You're gonna want another thing. You know, it'd be good to bring my flyers, and you're about to promote, and this is filled with axe fighters. So, people that have open inventory slots could totally just bring, like, your promotion item and, like, some swords and stuff for you. Is what they totally could do. Well, let's decide who I'm bringing first. Bring my refresher, because, obviously. Bring my flyers on this map. Don't mind picking from afar. You can use swords and probably just, like, whittle away and stuff. And this is probably be a good map to get you up there. Sure, do that. I want a healer. I could have a mage outside of Claren and take you. Why not? Oh, one mage that I probably do want to bring is probably Saul here. Because I think he's the one that I want to promote with that item that I just got. Because that turns him from not being able to attack, literally only ever being able to heal, to being able to attack as well. So maybe he's my mage that I bring along this time. Alan's, like, they're all good, but they're all maxed. So there's not really much need. I may as well stick within this section. Like, there's no one else that I'm missing or anything, right? Yeah, so I'll take that guiding ring. Is what I'll do. Yeah, so if I take one more, maybe Ray then? You're about to be max here, there's so many axe fighters. He's your convoy. So he's level 1. He can only gain experience by enemies attacking him and missing him, which good luck when his stats are low. So there's like, usually if he gets attacked, he just immediately dies. He's how you access your convoy. So in other Fire Emblem games, like in some of the later ones, you can access your convoy with your lord at any time, and other people can access convoy if they're adjacent to the lord. In Fire Emblem 7, Merlinus would be a tent that you could deploy, and if he fell, like, it was fine, like, he wouldn't die or anything like that. There was no worry about that. And he would level up for each chapter he survived, so it didn't expect you to, like, put him into combat, have enemies miss, and then he gets experience like that, in just 1 point at a time. So he would level up as you took him into battles, and you would choose, like, if you wanted to take him. There's usually basically no reason not to take him, because, like, if he died, then the only downside is he doesn't get EXP for that map. But in this game, he takes up a deployment slot. So, like, if you want to access your convoy, you have to give up a slot that you, would be taking another ally. So, you know, that's a little bit crummy. I don't like the design. I think that the Fire Emblem 7 design is a bit better here. Here, I can deposit those. Is what I can do. Here, deposit all this crap too. There we go. So, yeah, I don't think that it's the best design, and clearly they changed it in the immediate next game. Should I just break Ray then? Like, you're about to get maxed out here in a second anyway. There's no point bringing you. You're already maxed. You're not maxed, but, like, you are going to be here very soon anyway. You're maxed, you're maxed, you're maxed. There's no point. Only know about accessing the convoy from the Lord. Yep. He's the convoy, and he takes up a deployment slot. Yeah, so I may as well take Ray then. Maybe his stats go up? I'm not sure, but, like, I mean, his constitution is high. I guess he can do, like, rescuing and stuff. I guess there's that utility. You can't even support with anyone, I don't think. Well, you mean max constitution? Luck is not maxed. Sure. I think that's what makes the most sense considering the circumstances. So, yeah, we should be holding on to some other swords. Luck has a giant bar. Oh, that's just what you mean. Yeah, I think most characters have a much bigger bar for luck. Like, it has a much higher cap than the other stats. I think that's just how it goes. That it has a higher ceiling of potential. Let's actually maybe... Like, I'm not gonna need a bunch of things here. Here. You can take... Sword. Oh, my lucky caravan. Sucks to suck. Yeah, for Pegasus Knights and Wyvern Riders. Here, take an Elysian Whip. What do you want to take 2? If I feed a bunch of experience to her. I can give Roy 1, just in case. Because they're probably going to be the ones I feed kills to here. For the most part. Sure. But then you are going to want to get that. And then... Oh. I guess I can just, do this. Give me those, Noah. Thank you. There we go, and then Saul can actually try out attacking for the first time in his life. Okay. Oh, I could also consider, like, supports on this map. I mean, I might have ones that I can grind out as is. So there's that support. Because, like, I don't care about turn count on this one. So there's that support that I can do. Melody would be Lou, and Trek is, like, her backup support there. So can work on that one, but I want to prioritize other ones anyway. Gwendolyn and Lalum, yeah, so she can grind out support with both of these guys. And, like, that's fine then, I think. You would just be with Alan. You would be with Saul. So I think you're at B right now. Oh, no, you're at A. You actually got to A. Okay. Yeah, Dorothy A with Saul. Okay, so they are as good as they're getting there anyway. But anyway, just you with these two. And then this is like a backup support that I can work on is fine enough as is. I think that works a-okay, honestly. Maysol wanted to be the whitest mage that ever white maged? Well, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna be using light magic. If you're, not familiar with, like, convoy systems, apart from the Lord, I assume that stuff like this might be new as well. A different thing for the Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem games is that there's a weapon triangle for magic as well, they decided to do. So there's Anima light and dark, so he uses light type magic. So he's totally still gonna be the whitest mage that ever white mage by using light magic here, which is effective against dark mages, like Ray here. And Ray is effective against, like, Anima mages, like Claren, and Claren will be effective against white mages like Saul. It's a bit different. So he technically is. That might be information you already knew and I just repeated, like, stuff for no reason. But in case that's not the case. I don't know. Like, you'd very much be my vanguard. Mages following behind, or maybe something like this. I don't know. You'll have more movement, so, like, I don't know. I don't know. Sure, something like that. Haven't really played Effie. Okay, I gotcha. Well, that's the way that it goes in this game. Okay. Well, let's try it out here. I don't know how much I would recommend this game. It's interesting and different. But I would prefer something like FE7 or Sacred Stones over it. I mean, Sacred Stones is a bit easy, but, haven't you found the legendary weapon yet? Well, we believe it is inside this altar, but we can't get it open. Break it open if you have to. It doesn't matter. The enemy has already entered the temple, so the men are all preparing for battle. We don't have the manpower to break it open right now. Plus the distractions. We don't have time for this. As soon as the enemy is defeated, locating the weapon is our highest priority. Wow, that was like the first 4 notes of the main theme of Age of Calamity. This is what it looks like under the desert. There's so much water. 7.8 out of 10. This is close to a source of groundwater. This is the reason plants and animals can live in our village. So this is the source of the oasis. Still, how did you find such an ideal location? Athos. Archsage Athos led us here. You mean the Athos of the 8 legends? Yes. After the Scouring, Archsage Athos traveled all across the Lieb. At the end of his journey, he discovered our village of both man and dragon. He told us it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. So he brought you into the desert where you could stay hidden. Yes, he concealed his legendary weapon within this temple. Will your village permit us to use this legendary weapon? The Archsage said that we were to use his weapon to protect Arcadia. As long as you use it, to save Alib and to protect us, then of course, it will be invaluable. Thank you. Some of the pathways in this temple will sink into the water without warning. Please be careful. I'll be careful. Play a tiny bit of Three Houses and a tiny bit of the original on DS. I guess like the original remake there. In that case, with Shadow Dragon, I have a decent ways to go. There aren't flyers on this map, are there? Oh, there's a couple, but it doesn't look like I need to worry about them for a little while anyway. Okay, so we're pretty good here. To start moving down. Yeah, I do want to work on axes more so. I do have my backup axe, right? Yeah, I do. Yeah, fair enough. Let's see here. It is time to invoke the power of Zeus. And stop not knowing how to attack things. And start knowing how to use some magic zippy zappy powers. To divinely smite my foes. Very nice. Did a month 3 houses? Like an in-game month? Here, you can keep on schmoovin'. Okay, so yeah, not a massive ton then. I gotcha. I wonder if I need to like get in their range to aggro them out, or if they're just going to start coming down immediately. I assume that going into the water, some of my units will get trapped and stuff. Like, don't build up the support if I don't have to. Like, prioritize the other ones more. Okay. This way we go. But yeah, I presume that there will be multiple times I find my units trapped in the water. I wasn't expecting you to put up such a fight. Ow! He only has like 3 uses of that though, right? He better be the only one with bolting. Oh yeah, all the pirates! Oh, everyone starts rushing me. This might be a good fort to just hold down, rather than, oh. Yeah, I do wish that this wasn't quite as wide. But it's not the end of the world being that wide. Yeah, that attack range. Oh, it's 5 uses. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the durability there. So, yeah, if a bunch of them are going to come to me, I don't see any reason why I need to rush down. I don't need to low turn count this. So if I just hold this down, that's not the worst idea. So I think that's actually exactly what I'm going to do. Because I played a tiny bit of the 3DS trilogy, but it wasn't my own game, so I had to return after a couple of missions. Ah, fair enough. Here. I've completely changed my mind about the way that I am handling this. Russian. And then I'll figure out how I'm forming this wall shortly. Give myself some leeway here. Here, let's do this. Okay. Did I not replace the staff in your pocket? Is that not a thing I did? Well, I can't check right now anyway. Okay. I wrecked the wall. Devil Axe on a Berserker. It does scare me a little bit. Oh, I should finish him off on the next player phase. I don't want to leave it up to fate on enemy phase next time around. Pretty alrighty. Pretty nice. Yeah, I'm thinking that I hang back. Oh, that's a little bit annoying. Yeah, I should totally kill him here. And then back off. Oh. Well, I might not be able to one-round him here anyway. So maybe I will just back off after all. I want to play more FP, but I don't know. Fair enough. Start here, so that it gives me the option to pull further back if I want to later. I want to work on axes first and foremost. Right now, I think it honestly makes the most sense to just be pulling back so much that that's the only person that they can attack right now anyway. Not what I wanted to check. I wanted to check the physic. Maybe that is the same as the physic. So if he's there, they might not be able to heal. And then I'll wreck the wall sometime later. This will just focus everyone on Ogier. Is what I'll do. I can build up support in the meantime. Yeah, it was Roy and who? I've already forgotten. Let's see here. And Ogier, that's down there anyway. No one can attack there. Do you have any support with him? Not quite yet. I can start building support with him and stuff, I don't know. I don't know enough about the games to know the quality of them. I've heard hundreds of opinions where there doesn't seem to be a consensus of what's good. I think every Fire Emblem game has a lot that's really good about it, but like something that holds it back in my mind from it being like truly amazing. Like I think that things like Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS are like a really good starter game. I think Three Houses has some interesting ideas, but it is so like not Fire Emblem in a lot of ways. It very much tried to persona itself. This is what I feel like was the case. Kind of sounds like it might be similar to Digimon, there's always some problem with the game. Yeah, that's very much what I feel with Fire Emblem. Like, a lot of the games are pretty good, but there's always at least something wrong. Okay. So, I mean, out of curiosity. Yeah, he could deal with that. So, my wall, I think... You're not promoted. You've got an Axe Reaver. It might be fine to go here for now. Maybe one of the places where you're less of a target. Go there. So it's like you're part of the wall, but you're not a big part of the wall. I want you to sort of be part of the wall so that you get your level up and stuff. Here, let's see. See the first time he attacks. Oh, I guess his combat animations will be off. Lots of EXP there. Yeah, because he was a healer up until this point. And yeah, I do agree that I feel like Three Houses didn't really implement it very well. Here, be within 3 tiles of them for support bonuses. Be building up this support in the meantime. You'll be a really good part of the wall when I need it, but when I don't need it, I may as well give it to other people. Is what I may as well do, right? Okay, nice. So a bunch of them have poison here. But yeah, that'll be your last level. And then I'll pull you out from the wall, and then I'll promote you. And then things will be good. Yeah, he has the advantage with the Iron Sword. He's not doing much. Oh, and he gets doubled. Wow. So maybe he really should just... Oh my god. Be here as a support partner for Melody. But yeah, also, which 3DS title specifically are you talking about? I think Awakening, the first 3DS title, is a really good starter game. I think that it has, like, its fair share of issues, but I think that is a really good one for kind of getting a feel for what the series is. But yeah. I don't know why everyone seems to love Three Houses. I do not, myself. I very much do not, myself. Sure, go for this. Trek can deal with another thing later. That's unfortunate. But not the end of the world. I can swap people out as I need them. Let's see here. Sure, go for that. The power of Christ compels you. Okay. I better get you healed up. And yeah, I'll swap people out on my wall as I need. So I'll do. I heard a couple of people criticize the time system, though, saying it's a good idea, bad execution. It can be a sort of good idea, but I feel like it's also just not very Fire Emblem. Yeah, you have a couple stabs, so you can share. I'll be fine. I do kind of want to see this guy taken out. Is what I would like to see here. So sure. Because I do think this guy poses a significantly larger problem than the other guys here, is the impression that I'm getting. So then I do this. There we go. Yeah, Wyvern Knights are super tough in this game. Which is why I will gladly use my own. Support! I could technically longbow, but I don't really want to use it up like that. I think I will pass on that front. Okay. Yep, that's fine. Just give her, like, a hit. And then she'll probably promote. Most likely. Well, get to level 20. Not promote, you know what I mean. Okay. Bunch of hand axe guys. What was that? Is that like bolting or something? I think Three Houses are meant to be more character driven, similar to Persona with its social links. Sorta. It doesn't really have social links. Oh, that's the reduced to 1 HP thing, Rabob. You seem to be acting at the end, so I think that's fine. There's no way this kills me. So I do this, and then I dip out. This is what I do. Yep, there we go. Hey, strength went up. Sweet. Okay, so then... Who had the, things again? I had a couple of Elysian whips around. But it was mainly Larum. There. It doesn't, but you do have to befriend people to recruit them, and I think there's character development with that. There isn't really character development with that. It's just you choose one of the 3 houses that you want to go with, though that's like the class of students you get. But if you do want to get students from the other classes, you can do things that make them like you more, and you have to be good enough at like certain skills that they want to join your class instead. And some are just unrecruitable, but it feels very much like they aren't there and present in the story if you do recruit them. Like, they'll never appear in any cutscenes ever, because they're not something that every player would have in their playthrough. It's just like, hey, here's some additional characters you can use gameplay-wise if you want to. Is what it essentially is. And I guess you can talk to them in the monastery as the story's progressing and get a little bit of their thoughts on it if you care about that. Yeah, it's really not all that important. Here. So let's go ahead and do this. Where I then go ahead and take this. Sure, do that. And then, now that you're level 20, I may as well do this. And now she can start using swords and be even better suited for this map and start building up that sword ability. Especially considering sword is a brand new thing to her. She's gonna wanna, like, start using it a lot. And this is probably a perfect map to be using it a lot. He still has a little bit of HP he needs. And I'll do that in a sec, but I'll do this first. And yeah, the poison damage is just gonna be whatever, I guess. Is what it'll be. Okay. Okay, wait, but I need someone else in that wall spot, I'm realizing. Dodge tank for me, I guess. I don't know. Sure. The Hennex is probably gonna miss. Especially as from what I can tell later in the plot, the other houses do end up fighting with you, and that would affect someone coming from a different house quite a bit. Yeah, and they do, like, say as much in the monastery, so, like, the hub that you have between missions. They don't really say anything gameplay-wise, and, like, the ones that need to oppose you, like, in cutscenes and stuff like that, are the ones that are unrecruitable anyway. But yeah, that's how it goes. Sure. End turn there. Yep, just dodge tank it. We'll reclaim that wall spot in just a moment. Yeah, you're just going to be divinely shown on. Is what is going to happen here. Well, not too bad. Okay, yeah, more hand axe things. Yeah, in reality, it very, very much would. But in-game, it's more of just a gameplay thing. This is what it very much is. Oh my goodness. Well. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Alright, I don't think I've save stated this map yet. I have not, so I may as well. So let's see here. I should probably go ahead and do this. Like that. Get you closer to being able to promote as well. And then get you in here where you can start working on your sword ability. Because, yeah, I'm not getting mixed up here, right? Yeah, so now E in swords. So that's something that you can use now. So let's go ahead and take this. I'm fine with the one for now, I guess. I can replace it as I need. And then we just really start figuring out how the hell the sword works. Because you've never used a sword before, so you better start getting that experience up. And this seems like a perfect map to grind that out. This seems great. You're just going to be here and keep on figuring out what the hell an axe is. This is what you're going to do. That guy will die on enemy phase, it's fine, so I don't really need to do that. I give experience to someone else. Like, I could give it to, like, Ray, but I don't really need to when it's like, I'm not going to be getting these final promotion items for a little while anyway, and this isn't a situation that I need to attack with him. Like, you kind of need to get your light magic ability up. Just because it's something new to you. So yeah, I think that this is going to be the map where we just learn new things, like sword and stuff. I understand how someone can like it still, but you can't deny that there's so much more potential than it actually uses. Yep. Absolutely agree. Here, you're going to run around on healing duty. That's what you're going to do. You're a little bit more practiced with your magic than Saul is. What are you at right now, anyway? C. Not too bad. Can still be better, but not too bad. I mean... Sure, I guess. I don't know. Don't really have anything better to do. May as well. Even if it doesn't really change much. It changes the fact that now I don't have to worry about risking the 7% chance of taking 10 damage. Is what it changes. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna take my time with this one, I think. Well, thank goodness I didn't get double poisoned. Yeah, she's gonna really learn how a sword works now. This is such a great map for it. Is so good. Okay. Stab, stab. Cool. Well, they're slowly coming on over here. Not very much chance of hitting. You wanna... Ow, you actually hit him. Rude. The power of Christ compels you! Oh my god! Well. My goodness. You're gonna run out of uses here soon, right? Okay, yeah. Little bit of damage. That's fine. No, that was only the second one. I'm losing my mind. Wow, okay. Figuring it out fast, huh? This is what it sure seems like here. Much wow. Okay, you're gonna want to pull back. Get a little bit of a pick-me-up here. Get healed up. The pink staff and the blue staff, or purple, I guess. Pinkish purple. Here, Truck's feeling 100% again. Give some crap to him. While getting up that little bit of experience. A little bit of support, I wanted to say. But my brain just interpreted it as experience. Here, sure. This hand axe guy is gonna want to stick to further range anyway. May as well do this for. Yeah, you're the one that I want to get more experience to here. But with the advantage there. Like, D, he still has a lot of work to be done when it comes to his axes. But I'm prioritizing the swords this map. That's what this will be better for, I think. Here they come. Here's another hand axe guy. Okay, well. I could technically grind out experience on some of these guys by continuing to attack them and continuing to let them get healed. This could be one of those maps. Technically. If I want it to be. Which, I mean, maybe? Couple might go after Trek. Poison's about to wear off here, at least. Which is good. Here, look. I don't think there's much chance of them hitting her. Now that she can wield a sword instead of just a lance. Okay. And then, sure, leave the dodge tank there. If someone wants to go after Roy, like, for fun, like, go ahead, I guess. I don't care. Yep, they want to attack the person that can't fight back, even if they can't really hit her. Wow, he landed that. Unbelievable. So 3 houses, I didn't really know enough about the game to really know if I should be prioritizing getting EXP or weapon proficiency. I think they're both pretty equally important. But I don't think that you need to, like, pay too much attention to either one to be able to get to a strength that, like, you'll be fine. Apart from maybe maddening difficulty. Sure, just get this guy. No more of him. He's gonna help train my sword, feed it blood to become better at it. Okay, you need to please no. If he really gets hit again, then I'm just gonna like dance for him and get him out of there. Okay. So I can eat 2 more hits and be okay. What level is he at anyway? 16. Okay. Just curious. May as well take a pot shot, right? Hey, look, the last use of this iron bow. May as well break it. So is there any reason to befriend people already in your party then? There's like getting supports with them. Fire Emblem games have supports where it's like you can, that's not a good example. Here, I have C support with Laram and B support with Alan, where it's like, as you get to know one another better, you can have conversations with one another that give you one another stat boosts when you're typically within 3 tiles, is how it works in a lot of Fire Emblem games like this one. So, like, these two are, because there's no, like, going down and to sit and have tea, like in 3 houses in this game. This game, you build up support by ending turns next to one another. So with Melody and Trek being right next to one another here, they're slowly building up support and like making progress towards unlocking their first conversation. And the game never tells you this, and each character only has like so many other characters specifically that they can support with. And yeah, and that's a valid support. They can have conversations. So I figured, hey, why not? I don't really plan on using Trek in my final squad. He's just one of the sub-in when I need him guys, like Chad is my thief when there's utility for it. But his utility is mostly just like, hey, a different paladin to use sometimes, while also offering support for some of my other characters that needed a slot filled. But yeah, don't think Shadow Dragon had support at all. It's possible that it did, but it never shared it. Like, this game never really shares that support is a system in the game, for example. It's kind of something that you see that there's an option to have conversations sometimes and don't understand why, unless, like, you find out from the internet, because I genuinely don't know how you'd find out in this game otherwise. It is a bit silly. Alright, here. Stab that guy. Stab. I think I should just turn off combat animations at this point. This is what I'm thinking I should do here. Here. Because this is getting a little bit annoying. Here, I think I'm actually going to do this, so we're not getting support this turn. I'm going to do that. Because otherwise, like, my wall's going to be in a bit of a weird position that I don't want it to be in anyway, so. So it's whatever. And I have Lara, my dancer, there next to Roy, so that they build up support. Is what I want. Okay, I'm just gonna click on the game, so you won't be able to see my inputs on stream anymore, just so I can, like, fast forward a bit more easily. How many more uses of that thing do you have? Lots. So, like, I can absolutely just farm these guys if I want. I mean, you're probably gonna try and get close enough to attack. Oh, your only attack is just that one anyway. So it's either you heal or you do that. Gotta level up. Well, it's something. But I think I farm off of these guys. This is what I do. I played a little bit of Shadow Dragon once, and that was it. I haven't really touched them all that much, no. Here, move out. Build up more support. Why not? Sure. Okay. Thank goodness for fast forward. Okay, well. Just keep on hitting him. Oh, I got a crit on that guy. That's fine. There's still one guy for each of us here. So that's fine. Okay, and then, sure. Truck is gonna get a whole bunch off of this. Both of us are here. In fact, maybe I should just... I don't know. But yeah. It means that I can't traverse them anymore. Well, that guy's skedoodling up here, it looks like. That's easy experience for someone, considering you literally can't fight. Okay, well. Well, there's a level up. Pirate classes can. So he can. This guy can't when he's in the water. Here. Then she builds up support with both of them. I'll get my support grind done at the same time here. This is what I'll do. Okay, well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for a bunch of this. I don't think that they're really gonna be able to hit her. Sure doesn't seem like. I don't know what the odds are, but clearly not good. Yeah, I can eat one more hit before I have to heal, it looks like. There. Then he can be max and he can truly have utility. And then I'll give him a Night Crest whenever I have one to spare. Which is not going to be for a hot second still, because like the next one that I get, I'm going to want to use on Gwendolyn. Like one of my actual mainstays. But then after that, I'd probably give one a Trek. And then after that, I'd probably give one to Lance. Just in case I have like characters I need to sub in, which probably isn't going to happen too often, but like, hey, just in case. Any support? Doesn't seem like. Okay, well, hear about this stuff going on here in the States? What part? Gonna have to be a little bit more specific, because that can mean one of, like, an ungodly amount of things right now. Is what that can mean, sadly. The general answer is yes. Very much so. Well, I want to go after Trek. Hey, look, weapon level increased. Okay, why am I using this iron sword before the other one? What the hell am I doing? Alright, well, let's see here. Sure, do that. You're doubling, huh? I guess you switched weapons? Okay. Says, oh my god. Says from other countries are now being detained by ICE. It's literally not even safe to visit the States currently. Yeah, I have no intention of visiting the States in the next 4 years. I have dual citizenship. I could work in the States if I wanted to. I very much do not want to seek job opportunities in the States right now. And with my 3D printing stuff that I'm doing at this upcoming seed sale event, one of the big selling points that I have is that the filament that I source, the plastic, supports Canadian businesses. I get all my basic colors, like this, I get from a company that's based out of Victoria, BC, that manufactures its own 3D printing filament. I think it's the only major Canadian one that manufactures its own printing filament. And for more complex colors, like something like this, where the color is different depending on the side that you look at it from, more complex things like that, I source from a local business, Hobby Wholesale, which is like, you know, not some big American company that made its presence here. It is just straight up a local business. So, here, take a pot shot at him, I feel like it. So, my little banner that I'll have that's printed out, that's one of the big blurbs. I have like, hey, this is who I am, I just do like 3D printing and gardening. The filament that I source supports Canadian businesses. These are the two types of filament that I mainly print from, being PLA and PETG, and here's like the basics about them. That's like my whole little sheet of paper blurb, because a lot of Canadians are very much wanting to support more Canadian businesses, and especially just things that aren't the States. So like my family, for example, is trying to keep an eye out more for Canadian products, Mexican products, European products. Try to avoid stuff from the States where we can, and try to avoid stuff from China where we can as well. And of course we try to avoid stuff from Russia, but like, what kind of products do you see from Russia? But if there were more products on the shelves from Russia, that's another one that I'd be avoiding right now. And I know that we're not the only ones. There's a lot of Canadians that are trying to be a lot more conscious about where they're sourcing their products from. Like, they're trying to support more Canadian businesses and just especially be buying less American goods. So, I've decided that that is going to be one of the big selling points of my printing stuff. Because that's where I get my filament from, is from Canadian businesses. Unfortunately, the stuff from Hobby Wholesale is made in China, from what I can tell. So, unfortunate on that front. But right now, I'm sure a lot of people would prefer hearing that than hearing that's from the States. I knew things were going to get bad, but dear fucking god, I didn't think it would ever get this bad. Yeah, it's like the kind of thing that you'd see in a comedy movie, where, like, it wouldn't be something that you would take seriously, it'd just be parodic. But nope, it's real. Literally, there was a German couple who came to the States on vacation, got detained for weeks. Genuinely, we are as bad as Germany in 1935, basically, at this point. Like, it is very much turning into an oligarchy, where anyone that disagrees is gonna be out of there, so that they get more and more control. And, like, the amount of things that are being defunded and, like, control is being taken from. It is being policed what people are saying. Like, for example, my mom's best friend well, both my mom and my mom's best friend work in health research in different ways. My mom's best friend works at home remotely because she works for an American company, so she's a lot more in the know about, like, stuff going on in, like, the health research kind of space in the States. And from what I've heard from my mom from her, is that apparently, if people are trying to submit, like, new research proposals, the people that you would normally submit these research proposals to say, don't email us through, like, official lines, do not call us on the company lines, here is our private personal numbers, contact us through that. Because the concern is that through the official channels, things are being monitored, and if you say keywords like trans or woman, your research is going to get automatically revoked on the spot. It's not even going to be considered, because these things are being monitored, and you're not allowed to so much as mention these things. Like, so it's gotten so bad that if you want to submit a research proposal, you have to go through people's personal lines, because the official lines are no longer safe. Like, this is the world that the States is living in now in 2025. Like, what? Here, just poke that guy. I don't understand how they can let themselves get like that. Well, there goes that guy to a crit. Okay. You revoke someone's green card for protesting Israel's genocide? It's gotten that fucking bad. I believe it. Generally don't feel it's safe in the States. I'm glad I switched to Linux when I did. That there won't be, like, monitoring kind of stuff there. But yeah, it sounds very much like what people are saying is being monitored and policed, like, depending on the field that you're working in. And that's extremely scary. Yeah, I believe it. I don't really know enough about Linux. Like, with Windows, it's like, oh yeah, that monitors you? Yeah, that sounds about right. Here, do that. Booty bop. Okay, fair enough. I'm sure it's fine here. I can do this. But yeah. Booty bop. But yeah. I guess I didn't know this. Ooh. But yeah, that's fair enough there. No option to talk. Doesn't seem like. Alright, well, we're doing this now, I guess. Poke. But yeah, so I completely understand the feel on that front of wanting to avoid that. When it comes to avoiding a lot of things from the States as well, like returning back to that for a second. My dad orders a lot of things off of Amazon, and my mom's tried to kind of be on his case to, like, not do that unless it seems like it's absolutely necessary for, like, a certain thing that he needs. You know. Also, if you have an AMD card, it runs so much better on top of already running better from less bloat. I've heard good things about Linux. Mythic's told me a lot of really good things about it. I used it the whole one time when I needed to back up my stuff. Part of me is afraid about, like, learning curve getting into something so completely different than I'm used to. But I have thought before that I could see myself, like, preferring going with that over, say, Windows. Okay, well, let's do this. Yeah, that was the impression that I got from, like, the brief time that I used it to, like, back up my stuff when I was dealing with all my PC issues. Okay. Wow. Yeah, he is very much just going to be utility. Very much just utility that helps give some supports. Helps fill in some supports on, like, the odd chapter that I might actually take him. But yeah, but I prefer not to use Windows 11. I have Windows 11 on my laptop, and I really don't like it. I think the best Windows ever made was Windows 7. I think that's probably a lot of people's favorites. Windows 8 was, like, so not great. Windows 10 is kind of like a combination of 7 and 8. Then I guess they just, like, skip 9. And 11 feels like it's going more towards, like, the 8 direction slash a bit of a new, different direction that I don't really like, honestly. Not the biggest fan of Windows 11. Like, I can use it, but meh. Yep. Yeah, that's going away. So I'm really, really glad that I was able to restore my computer when I did, because any much later, and I wouldn't have been able to do it with Windows 10. Poke. Oh, I should have waited a second. Oh, well, maybe it's done anyway. Yeah, it's done. Alright, well, who wants that? Not Shrek. But yeah, I can still install Windows 10? Would it not, like, complain at me? Like, I have my boot drive and stuff. You just won't have security. Okay. Who wants the thing? Probably you, because you're unpromoted, and I can promote you. Wow, just get the crit. Nice. Probably will complain about you anyways. Yeah, true. Ugh. At least it's your lower offensive stat. Yeah, so I have to get back onto here. Alright, well. Time to just get schmovin'. That's what I think it's time for. Whee! Away we go. Places to be. And all that. Sure. Do that, and then, whee! Off we go. On this magical adventure. Oh, here they come. Well, at least that'll use up your durability. We're not gonna have, like, the middle guy bolting or anything? Maybe he'll only do it at, like, set intervals or something? You have a bolting, too, so that's a little bit annoying, honestly. This sounds like a job for you! Mostly. Okay. Well, get your sword experience, how about? Sure, do that. And then go over here. And then poke. And then that guy can deal with you two. Probably. Sure, do that. Sure. I've wanted to move to Linux for a long time, but stuff like Windows requiring a webcam, it does? What? Ow. And stuff like that, and Windows 10 no longer having security anymore soon. There's just no reason not to go to Linux. Yeah, that's fair. Linux is not as hard as people make it out to be. Now, if I ever run into, like, another issue with my computer and I need to, like, redo stuff, then maybe I'll end up going over to it for good. It's apparently always been a rule, like getting a green card or whatever, a meeting with a lawyer while you're here temporarily. You're told as part of things you can't do anything with public protest, supposedly. Oh. Though, it's also something I saw someone say, wouldn't be surprised if it were the true cause. There's reasons for that. Mayhap. Like, I can say outright that it's a field that I don't really know enough about. What the rules and regulations are. As for everything other than home computers, you are required to have a webcam for Windows 11. Jeez. Before I get, like, bolting killed on one of my guys that has lower res, make another thing. Because, my goodness, I think I'm just going to have to eat that amount of boltings. Until they run out of durability. Yep, they very much do. That's kind of one of the things I like about this camera, is whenever it's not being used by a program that, like, I'm using, like, OBS right now, it points down, so it sees nothing. So, Like, it has a 2-minute cooldown period, like, oh, you close the program, time to wait for a second, and I can change the period. And then, when not, because it has, like, the motors that let it look around, it just looks straight down. So some cameras will have a privacy filter. This one just literally does not look at me when I don't want it to, which is a nice feature that I appreciate with it. I don't know, start getting ready to go down here. What the hell do you have? Nosferatu, it looks like. Okay, well. Down we go. Whee! Away we go. Nice. Nice. Oh, we're falling into the water. So, yeah, you guys just can't get out. At least we can step out. It seems like. But yeah, I really did not expect the US government to start disappearing people, especially not this early. Yeah. Yeah. Neither did I. I'll just start going down this way. Once I get some more units over there, then I'll start beating them out. Yeah, it just kind of happened immediately. I guess they figured we gotta start doing stuff right off the bat. We've only got 4 years if we can't change the rules on that. So may as well just start going in hard immediately. Right off rip. Okay. Let's see here. Yep. That has been the case. But hey, at least eggs are down like 4 cents. All it took was, what, 5 trillion from the stock market? I do get a little bit worried about these guys. Like, that is a decent amount of damage that they would be capable of inflicting. Here. Going here will also limit that guy's movement. Well, if they're baited out anyway, then I may as well pull back, right? This is what I may as well do now. Let them come over here. Oh, I did not actually move you all the way out of range. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, everything else is getting more expensive as stock market is plunged. Oh yeah, the stock market is going to take an insanely long time to recover. Like, right now, it's very much looking like, can it recover from this? I'm sure it eventually will, but it is going to take forever. It's going to take forever for the stock market to recover, and it's going to take forever for the rest of the world to be able to regain its trust with the states again. Wow, okay. Well, that's what happens, I guess. Okay, well. I mean, I don't know. Let's see here. Sure, give it a go. Like that. We can sword this guy, a little fly in here. One of those fungus gnats. Maybe I'll just land some this time. Why Germany hasn't put travel warning on the US for non-trans people? What? Hasn't put a travel warning on the US for trans people, I assume, as opposed to non-trans people? Because I assume non-trans people will be mostly fine. Get out of here, fungus gnat. They have put one for trans. Oh, okay. I didn't actually know that. And it makes sense that they would do that. But geez. Okay, poke. Get a level up off of that. Sweet. Not sweet. The complete opposite, actually. That really sucks. Okay, well, I'll do this. No, the people who have been detained weren't even trans. Not... Oh, yeah. But yeah, I think overall, it's very safe to say that things are very much out of control. And it's really sucky that in a time like this, with Russia's increased aggression. And, me being very worried about, like, China eyeing Taiwan and being like, if Russia can get away with being this aggressive with, you know, not as much of a penalty as I feel like there should be. Like, of course, there has been a major penalty for Russia, but, you know, not as much as there should be, and it really depends on how, gosh dang it, what approach the world is going to want to take from here when it comes to sanctions and stuff. Point is, China eyeing Taiwan being like, is this the opportunity for this? And especially when the US is currently taking the side of the dictatorial, brutal invader that has absolutely overstepped boundaries and, you know, is doing what the States doesn't want to say they're doing, an invasion. Trying to take over. And the States is taking their side. Telling Zelensky that, like, you shouldn't have started this war, and saying, Canadians have also been detained, jeez. And saying, we're only gonna help you, Ukraine, if we can get all these resources of yours out of it. Like, literally using a country that is currently being crippled and being invaded by a brutal dictator as a chance for extortion. That is what the States is currently willing to do. With its government. Like, I don't understand. At the time that they're needed the most, all they can see it as is an opportunity for extortion. Like, it makes me extremely sad. Sure, go here to bait that guy out, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, I believe it. Here, let's go this way. Sure, Roy's just stuck in the water for now. They're stuck over there. We also got rid of an American citizen because his parents were immigrants, but he was born in the US. Jeez. So you're saying that's very much a situation I could have been in. If I were still in the US today. Because my parents were immigrants, but I was born in the US. Here, it's using up that bolting. That guy didn't get baited out after all. That flyer's gonna come over here and then I'm gonna wreck him. Whatever, that's fine. Get over here. Okay, just to make sure that we're actually getting there a bit better. Yeah, I mean, what the heck are you gonna do? Okay, here they come. Russia got away with it because the pipeline was allowed to be built, which made Europe dependent on Russia, on Russian oil. Because US cut down on drilling a ton, so their only choices were Arab, Russia, Venezuela, and the usual oil place in Russia was the cheapest of all of them. Yeah, I have definitely heard about that, and how this was very much a wake-up call to a lot of Europe of, oh, we shouldn't have been so dependent on Russia. Russian oil, Russian energy were big dependencies. And there's been, like, a lot of efforts to try and reduce those dependencies. And there's currently a lot of efforts by the Canada to try and reduce dependencies on the US in a similar situation of, oh, maybe we shouldn't be as dependent here. I don't know. Just friggin' shoot that guy a little bit. They're tough. They'll give some good EXP. So I think I'll have Melody come in and clean that dude up. Huh, not bad. Yeah, and I think it's fine if she goes in range here. But yeah, it's heartwarming to at least see Canada and Europe coming together in hard times, though. I just wish I could join them. Yeah, this has very much been a rallying force for, like, so much of the Western world. And I think a lot of the world in general is getting very anti-US about now. Here, sure, do this. Axe experience for you. May as well. Here. May as well get some sword experience. Leave the tile open for someone else. Sure, do that. I can get light magic experience on Saul. Damn. Never mind. That'll be fine. I'm just gonna stay as is, I think. This is what I think I'm going to do. Sorry, there's only room on the horse for two. Okay. Okay, well, that's fine. things worked out the same in the end anyway. Seems like. Okay. Oh, well, nice. Okay, you've got to have, like, 1 or 0 uses left now, right? Still some dudes over there to deal with. Yeah, you're out. You're all out now. Okay. It's funny to see China be based in its opposition to the US. Are they? What? Are they one of the ones as well that is opposed to the US right now? Like, I know under normal circumstances they're opposed to the US, but in its current state, are they? Dang it. I'll get you to level 20 this map too, anyway. Sure, poke. Do you not hear about them opposing the US taking over the Gaza Strip? I actually didn't know. That part I did not hear. I'm gonna start going around that way. That one dude might actually decide that he wants to come on down now. But yeah. Honda Civic ad, nice. Can't wait for, like, the penny that's gonna give me. And, you know, here, dang it. Here I am as a Canadian getting income from the US from things like Honda Civic ads. Wanna go, like, smack that guy? Or something? I should have healed first. Oh, well. Here, just do that. Go ahead and do this. I would like you to be topped up. Eh, you're pretty close to done, too. I may as well get you there. And then just kind of forget about you for a little while. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, you're just stuck with L-Fire now. Stuck with an L-Fire in your hand like an idiot. Now, that guy might be good for Trek. If that other guy doesn't want to move, then, like, hey, great. Here, do this. Cross over to the other side, first and foremost. Because, yeah, if nobody wants to come over there, these guys are still just big chillin'. You have a poison axe, but, like, whatever. I don't know, sure, do that. Some support or something. Sure. I don't know. I don't know. Sounds good to me. Poke. Yeah, this guy might be enough to do it. Might just be. Yeah, I had a feeling that'd go away. Which is why it was important to, like, actually get over there. Okay, I'm out of that guy's L-Fire range if he doesn't want to move. Okay, yeah, Trek speed sucks. Yeah, his only utility is gonna be, like, support sometimes. And even that is, like, do I really want to? Yeah, you're just kind of stuck there. Alright. Alright, let's see it. What are you... Nope, never mind. We're not seeing what you're like at level 20. Now we're gonna find out what you're like at level 20. Also seen some people try to justify Trump's tariffs by saying he's trying to strong-arm Canada. It's just like, strong-arm Canada into doing what? They literally have been the friendliest neighbor you could have ever asked for. They've worked on us on pretty much whatever we've asked of them. Yeah, then I see a lot of that sentiment as well. It's just, why would you do that with Canada? It is, like, the best neighbor. Like, why would you try to just make an enemy of them? Like, he absolutely has with so many people trying to, like, avoid getting American products. He'll never be level 20. I guess not. Like, the amount of damage to trust that has been done here is just irreparable. But I don't get it either. I don't get it. Oh, this Lance, I guess. Here, poke. There. What are his level 20 stats? Speed. That skill on that speed is disgusting, quite frankly. Okay, poke, poke. Do I even want him for the support utility at this point? But yeah, I'll get you to level 20 in this map at least and promote you. I guess. Oh, I can get over here now. Okay. Okay, let's just click onto the game so I can, like, fast forward these segments. Okay, Okay, go deal with him. You can take him. You can take him just fine. The fentanyl argument made no sense when less than, like, 1% comes in through the northern border. Most of it comes in through ports and airports, so it's not even, like, Mexico has much to do with it. The fact that there needed to be, like, a fentanyl czar appointed on the Canadian border, it's like, what? This is needed for what now? A non-existent problem? Here. That one guy will attack me once, and then I'll dip out and, like, promote and stuff. Because that should be enough for me to, like, get to level 20 here, like that. Level up. So I'll get 2 promotions this map, which is nice. Eh, not the worst thing ever. Could have been a +1 in just HP. I gotta pay attention over here to when these platforms show up. Maybe they're just not gonna show up. Roy had the other Elysian whip. Felt like something went down my throat. Better not a bit of fungus in it. Here. Do this. It's time to do this. Time to get my Wyvern Lord. Heck yeah. You are gonna be so dang strong. Sweet. Pretty nice. Alright, well, I mean, Trek doesn't want to go deal with that. I mean, Thea can. I guess. I don't know. Am I just gonna have to deal with the bosses with, like, my flyers and stuff? My flyers and Trek? Is that what's going on here? But yeah. Yep. And I also don't think that how you solve that problem is by having the war on drugs in the state that it is in the first place. Like, that just hurts supply, which increases demand, and then, like, things get to be not good, let's say. I don't know, just like, here, take one of these. Yeah, it very much does not. I don't know. Here, let's heal first and foremost. There's a support. Wait, Claren can support. Oh yeah, that was another support that I wanted, wasn't it? Was Dorothy and Claren. Dorothy was gonna be A with Sol and B with Claren, while Claren was A with Rutger. That can be your first support there. I had forgot that that was one of the ones I wanted to level up, honestly. Yep, I very much agree. I do very much agree with that. Yeah, I'm not going straight across anymore. It doesn't seem like... Here, let's go ahead and yoink, like that. You can start figuring out how the hell a sword works as well. I may as well get this. Lower on drugs does make it harder to even keep track of. Yep, I agree. Oh, you. Yes, me. Why do you dress yourself in men's clothing? Is that strange? Of course! A lady must wear elegant dresses. And a lady must be dressed properly even when she fights. Really? I suppose you're right. I know nothing about that kind of stuff. So I see. Well, I suppose I can teach you all that I know. What? No? Being ladylike doesn't suit me. Don't be absurd. All ladies must be ladylike. No gentleman will even give you the time of day if you look like that. Do you think so? Well, if you're serious, then all right. Please teach me, Lady Claren. Hey, at least I got a support conversation this map. Alright, Trek just needs to go into the timeout corner for having shit stats. He doesn't get to be involved anymore. He's probably not going to be involved in a map again for a while. I don't think. I might just have to deal with this with my flyers and then just, like, give him a flight over. Just bring him over on a private jet like he's Katy Perry or something. Figure out how the hell a sword works, maybe. But yeah. Yeah, her growths are pretty good. A lot better than Will's, unfortunately. Like, it would be nice to have, like, my archer that I just take throughout the entire game, like Will, but his growths just aren't... They aren't the same. Sure, you deal with magic a bit better since you're a Falcon Knight and all. Res isn't exactly the strong suit of a Wyvern Lord and all that. Yeah, I think I might just need to give, like, a private airlift over and deal with things like this, because those platforms to get over here are not appearing again. It feels... I wonder if the game is rigged up so that those platforms are only there for, like, a little while, or, like, you can only get, like, so many units over, and then from there it expects you to go, like, all the way around, or do, like, rescue shenanigans. Or something like that. There's nothing you can realistically do to stop people from taking drugs, and jailing them just punishes them for something that had a negative impact on their lives anyway. Yep. So just a bad thing on top of things. Yep. Absolutely agree. Sure, do this. Oh, not even any dialogue or anything. Time to take on Oats. Ow. Dang. Nah. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out here. You're gonna be getting your health back. Yeah, one of my flyers will take you down. It's nice to have some good flyers I can rely on. I went through most of the game here so far without flyers, wanting to recruit some of the later game ones like this that I would use, just because they seem better than the earlier game ones. And now that I actually have some ones that I can use, I'm appreciating the utility. I can take a couple hits like that, so sure. Stab. The animations are so cool. But yeah. Yeah, for sure. Rather than feeling like they have to turn themselves in for a crime that they have committed. Here, just stab. There we go. Where did you learn to fight like this? Here, mostly. By stabbing your pirates over and over and over again. I skipped, like, all my flyers, too. And I've heard that that's not the most uncommon thing in this game, from what it sounds like. Until Melody. Oh, there's a, guy over there that I never got. Here, you go get the guy. You go fly Roy over, which I could do this turn, but, like, it's probably not that much of a rush. I already did, like, so much waiting next to one another in, like, the beginning that I don't know if there's much in the way of supports to grind. Plus, unless I airdrop you over... Nah, screw it, man. Yeah, Melody seems really good. Oh, look! A way over, anyway! Here, I'll do a little bit of support grind anyway, just in case. Even though I'm probably good. Just to be safe. I can start working towards their next level. Like, I don't know what my points are looking like. If I'm maxed or close to maxed or something, but hey. Okay. Sure. Whee! Okay. And then you get your sword experience. I'm gonna have to rearrange some inventories after this battle. But yeah. Tin didn't grow as well and don't like Thea's start. Fair enough there. I looked at the different growth rates and I just felt that like the other two just weren't really doing it for me. That this is what the best option was between the three. Okay, well. Sure, little bits of support if you even want to give him anything at this point. Screw it, no, he doesn't deserve anything at this point. Sure, I'll give it a little bit of time. Is what I'll do. But yeah, in the meantime, for some other stuff that I can chat about here. With this upcoming seed sale event, I do have a lot of stuff printed. I could show, like, the floor behind me here. Now it looks like that. It is covered in different pots, and, like, the things in the back are seed starters. There's a bunch of Pokemon pots there. You can see Pikachus and Charmanders and stuff. So I've been 3D printing a bunch of stuff. Now my camera's gonna be a little bit broken there. Let's just turn on this, how about, and then it'll automatically come back over to me. But yeah. It feels like this game has a lot of axe users. If only Pegasus had started with swords instead of lances. Yep, it only took a week. It was actually really surprising how, like, expedient they were about that. So this is my first time ever streaming with, like, replacement camera here, but it's the exact same model as, like, the thing that I was using before. So, you know, I was really quite surprised at the expedient replacement. Also want to use others more, fair enough. Oh, I could get a support! It's a good thing I double-checked by doing this. And I've been 3D printing a bunch of different things, like stakes here, for example. Wow. Thought it just lost me with the tracking. Like, stakes to label your tomatoes. Like, which ones are cherry types, which ones are beefsteak types, and doing, like, this two-tone wooden kind of thing. And another thing that I've been making a whole bunch of is ladybugs, like this. So I only have a single color printer, but I'm able to get 2 colors because, like, the black piece is a piece, and these are separate pieces. And then you, like, insert them together. And I've turned my hand a little bit red from, like, forcing things together here. So I made a bunch of red ones in PETG plastic, but one of the bits of advice that I got at the seed sale that I went to last weekend, the one that my tire exploded at, was that a lot of people in the gardening space want to know that they're making, like, greener choices and not, like, being wasteful and stuff. So while PLA plastic typically isn't really used for functional prints, because, like, its color can fade over time, or I've heard that it's not that good at receiving wear and tear. I mean, I've had a PLA pot that a jade plant has been in for the past 1.5 years, and it still looks completely fine. 60 degrees Celsius is when PLA starts to get, like, a little bit pliable. Like, it can bend and morph a little bit because it starts to, like, be like that. I don't know how to words sometimes. But I don't think that's a temperature that even in, like, direct sunlight and the most blazing heat that you would probably ever have to worry about it getting to here in, like, central Alberta, most likely. So I thought, like, huh, you know, this may be some good advice. Maybe I should start printing some more things in PLA. So I've started printing, like, more PLA pots, because you can't really get cool colors like this in PETG. I know I was showing this pot earlier, but this is a PLA one, where most of my inventory back there is PETG, which is an oil-based plastic. PLA is a plant-based plastic. It's made of, like, cornstarch and sugarcane kind of plastic. So this is technically biodegradable. Like, it's not gonna be leaving, like, microplastics or anything there. It's not oil plastic. And I do worry a little bit about color and stuff like that fading over time. I'm sure it varies from, like, print to print, where it's, like, overexposure to sunlight, it might fade. I'm really gonna need to, like, test these things over time, and I'll give people ample warning, like, hey, this is what I've heard about PLA. I haven't had enough testing time myself. But I've started printing more things out of PLA like that. And I decided that I would start printing a bunch of PLA ladybugs, because people might want to have things that are, like, decorative in their garden. That isn't just, like, plastic being wasteful kind of stuff like that, where it is a plant-based material itself that is, over enough time, biodegradable and stuff. Like, it's a plant-based plastic. So I started looking through my red plastics, seeing, like, what kind of red PLAs do I have? And I had the idea of using these. I haven't used this plastic in a long time. It looks white, so it's basically a white ladybug. But the name of this color is not white. The name of this color is light changed to red. And what that means is that when exposed to sunlight, this white changes to a red. I got it when I was putting together all my dragons for Fragapalooza 2024 to give them out as prizes, as I was looking around at Hobby Wholesale for, like, what kind of filaments look cool here that I could print, like, some really cool dragons out of. And I saw this one that said light change to red, and I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. And I looked at the roll, and it just looked white. And I was like, oh, let's try out some different things I've never tried before. And I printed a dragon out of it, and I would take, like, a flashlight, and I would shine it on it, and it would just never change color. And I was like, oh, well, I guess this is basically just a white. I guess it isn't really anything much. Until I had brought that dragon outside briefly, and sunlight briefly shone on it. And it immediately started turning pink. And I was like, whoa, what? Like, I guess it's just, like, the specific wavelengths that make up things like sunlight that make it change color. And so I printed a bunch of these ladybugs, and I've left some outside in direct sunlight to see if they turn red. they don't really. They turn more like a pinkish purpley, so it's not quite exactly red, but still kind of cool. Especially when it changes so rapidly, because it changes very, very fast. Like, if I take it inside after I've been outside for a while, by the time I'm inside, it's already, like, halfway faded. Put it in sunlight, and immediately you can see that pink is coming in, and it's starting to get, like, really purpley and stuff. So, even if it's not exactly red, having something that, like, changes color throughout the day, / depending on, like, how much light is shining on it, as, like, a garden decorative thing, as something that is fitting for a garden, like a ladybug, might be a kind of cool thing. So, I have an amount of ladybugs all across this desk and all across my keyboard over there that I will not disclose, because it is a shit ton. Well, maybe I will. I've made 12 of these white ones. I think I made like 10-ish of the Pet G red ones over there. I was just putting together like 4 pink PLA ones. And I was gonna make like at least 4, maybe more, of like pure red PLA ones. Is what I was gonna do. And then I want to start making like some more of these stakes, because I only have a week to go until this event, so I'm running out of time, and I want to shift focus onto like smaller kinds of things, because I don't think anyone is going there expecting to be spending a lot or anything. People are going there to buy seeds and find out about cool stuff in the gardening community. People aren't going to be going there like, oh, I'm ready to buy like something really big, like this seed starter stuff that I've made back there. So I think having a bunch of little things like this, where it's just like, oh yeah, just a few bucks, just like some pocket change, that doesn't sound too bad. I have some coins here. Here, take these. This is a really cool, unique thing, and makes me think about like 3D printing in the future, and leaves open the possibility of people potentially contacting me for commissions for 3D printing stuff. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about when it comes to my little new side hustle thing here. That's what's going on that front. My Ogier's godlike, strength 18, skill 14, speed 18, luck 18, defense 8, res 5 on your goat Ogier as a level 4 hero. That's pretty good. My Diek went like 10 or 12 levels without his strength level up though. You know, I know that things are pretty open on this stream, but I think talking about one's Diek is a little bit, I think that might be crossing a little bit of a line. Like, I don't know if that crosses Twitch TOS or anything by any means, but like, it's fine to have your own Diek and, you know, appreciate, respect it, whatever levels that it might get, but I think bringing the topic of one's Diek to another stream is maybe just a little bit inappropriate, you know, so, you know, we gotta watch the subject matter a little bit here. Let's, sure, go ahead and get the support. We can get the support with Roy. Lord Roy! Liram! I don't think you should grab onto people like that. It might cause a misunderstanding. But Lord Roy... Oh! What? An enemy! I killed literally everybody here. Enemy? Where? I don't know, but I heard a rustling in the bushes! It's just water! Liram, calm down. I can't move if you're hanging off me like that. I'm going to die, but that's okay. If I can die protecting you, Lord Roy, I will die in peace. You, hiding in the bushes, show yourself. What bushes? Like, I know that most maps you could imagine would have bushes on it, so it's kind of funny I'm getting the support conversation here. Our love is eternal and can never be broken. But please get off me so I can fight. Support level increased. So, we're at B with Roy now. Yeah, we don't have that support there. That is the other one that I was planning on doing here, right? Yeah, getting B there is what I wanted to do. So I'll wait just a little bit longer, because it seems like there was still points for me to get after all. Just a smidge longer here. Yeah, I can't work up with Saul, because, like, we're already good on that front. So Dorothy's almost maxed her support. She can get one more conversation ever, and that's it. And then she can never talk to anyone ever again. Because this is Fire Emblem. And that's how it works. I really wish that, like, there was a tracker for, like, the support points. Or something like that. I mean, maybe there's, like, mods that people have made that keep track of it. So I can actually know, like, when I'm done building up support points for the map, when I've hit the cap. Because I feel like the stuff at the beginning of the game, plus doing this, has gotta have things be, like, pretty close now. If not having already hit the cap. Like, it's probably already hit the cap, is what my intuition is telling me. But the back of my brain keeps on telling me, what if it's not? What if it's not already the cap? Be ready for an airlift over, I guess. Just a few more, maybe. Turn 110. Let's give it to 120. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. What it is like, I haven't hit the cap for relationships in terms of what we can get. So each person can have 5 conversations at most in this game. So you go from C, B to A. So that means that Dorothy has had 4 conversations. She can have 1 more. And I do want to get her and Claren up to B support. Or Claren here, for example, is at 3 conversations she's had, because she's at B with Rutger and C with Dorothy. So she can have 2 more conversations. I want to get her to A with Rutger and then B with Dorothy, is what I want. But how you gain points towards unlocking those new conversations is by waiting adjacent to one another, your actions ending adjacent to one another at the end of turns here. But there's a cap to how many points you can get. So every time, like, how many points you can get in a map. So whenever you stay adjacent to one another, when it's like a valid support, you gain points towards the next rank. But the amount of points that you can get in a map has a ceiling. And the game never tells you, like, what the ceiling is. It never tells you that there's a point system. It never tells you how it works. It's literally... Oh, my God. Why did it do that? I remember that on my original camera, I needed to, like, disable it from doing these things. That's what I needed to do. I'm probably going to have to set that up with this one, too. So, there are points that never tells you about. There is a limit to how many points you can get each time that it doesn't tell you about. So I've probably already hit that ceiling. Yeah, I'll say I've hit that ceiling. Whatever. But yeah, I saw a bootleg playmat that says Magic the Gathering with Ash Ketchum using a dual disc with a Digimon on Namek. Nice. That's amazing there. It do be dramatic. I remember some of the things that are built in with this camera is like the AI things where it's like, you can do that to zoom in, and then you can do that to zoom out, and then you can do that to zoom out. And then you can do that to zoom out. And then you can do that to zoom out. I just disabled it on my initial camera, was the case. I can probably set up hotkeys on, like, my, my Stream Deck or something at some point that just lets me press a button and then it zooms in. That might be kind of fun. I thought about doing that, like, before it broke before. And maybe I'll actually get around to doing that here one of these days. Let's go ahead and seize. It is here, inside this altar. It won't open. Only those of the village may open the altar. Please, allow me. Of course. There. This is the legendary weapon. Athos used this? Then it's... Yes, it is the infernal truth. Forblaze. Who trespasses in this place? What is your business here? You just now are noticing. My name is Roy. Sophia brought me here. I came to protect the village. Sophia? Who's that? It was you who drove off Burn's soldiers, except for maybe like the 50 axe guys that are presumably still outside our gate? Oh dear. Please forgive me. I am the Elder of Arcadia. The Elder? Are you a dragon? A dragon? I've been called that before. But I prefer the term scaly. But that was a long time past. Time long past. Let me think. Yes, the only real dragon we have now is Faye right here. Hi. This little girl is a dragon? Yes, though she is not yet matured. Elder, do you know anything about the dragons fighting for Burn? What? Burn is allied with dragons? Yes, we have seen them. I do not know. Dragons are not supposed to exist in this world, except for in this village. Elder, if I may. What is it, Green? Sophia said that she could detect an evil force emanating from Byrne's troops. It may be related to the dragons Roy says he has seen with Byrne. I assume this is the cutscene I normally would have gotten after the last chapter if I didn't get the Gaiden chapter. So it just went from, like, Gaiden chapter end cutscene to immediately, like, this chapter end cutscene. Maybe related to the dragons Roy says he has seen with Byrne. Perhaps. I am too old to detect such forces now myself. Sophia can detect an evil force? What does that mean? Sophia is half dragon and half human. Their parents got around, what can I say? That gives her the ability to detect the auras emitted by other dragons. She says, however, that she detects an unnaturally twisted force from Byrne. I think that it should be investigated further. Elder, if you will allow it, I would like to join Roy so that I might learn more. I would prefer not to involve others in outside matters, but this is certainly a special case. Will you take her, Roy? Certainly. I'm Green, Guardian of Nevada. I'm confident in my skills with the bow. I believe I can aid you in battle. I appreciate it. I want to go too. Don't be ridiculous. You may not. There's no telling what may happen if the world learns of your existence. If there is nothing else, let's be off. Yes, let's. Fine. I will just follow them sneakily. Got the 4-blaze. Not 4-blaze, but the 4-blaze. It depends on the map. So I believe, like, the general big maps in this game is usually about 16. But for something like a Gaiden chapter where it's just like, go take out the pirates and go get the legendary weapon, it'll be something lower, like 10. Like, the deployment limit differs from map to map, and it's going to be really low for these side quest chapters like this. But really high for, like, the really big kind of main chapters. And somewhere in between for some of the other chapters. Also, Faye there. I believe that it's shortly after that we end up recruiting her. And from what I've heard, she is, like, a really good, really strong unit. But weapons have durability in this game, like most Fire Emblem games. She has one Dragon Stone, and when it breaks, it's zoomed in again. And when it breaks, it's gone forever. So she's a really good unit, but you can only use her so many times before you can never attack with her ever again for, like, the entire rest of the playthrough. So, yeah. 60 use, okay. So you get a decent few uses out of it, but at a point, you just can't use her again, which I really don't like. So I did not factor her into my plans, the Dragon Child. So yeah, that's definitely the one where we recruit her. So I just did not factor her into my plans for, like, my final party here. She is not part of it. So, yeah. Well, I got through 3 more chapters. It is currently 3:55 in the morning on the 16th of March. I don't know if I'm going to end up streaming this game once more before Dark Deity 2 comes out, or if the next time I stream this game, I'll be like, hey, that other Fire Emblem-like game of Dark Deity 2 came out, and I've started playing that. Here's my thoughts on it so far. Like, we'll see. I don't know when the next time that I'm going to stream this is going to be. We shall see. Maybe the next time that I stream this, maybe I won't have a beard, because I'll finally get around to making good and like getting around to taking it off here, because yeah, it is definitely starting to get on my nerves a little bit. Next time maybe I'll be able to say, like, hey, here's how the event with the 3D printing stuff went. We shall see. This is a story of the fabled Fire Emblem. What? I am. But not everybody that tunes into the Fire Emblem 6 playthrough might necessarily be watching the Dark Deity playthrough. And especially anyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, especially, like, not right as the uploads are going up, isn't gonna know, like, the correct order that things go on. So they're not gonna know, like, what stream happened before this stream, like, what parts were the chronological order for, like, Binding Blade and then Dark Deity and then Binding Blade and then Dark Deity. So I kind of like to just talk about what I think about the other thing during the other corresponding playthrough and stuff. You know, be able to not be able to give those kinds of updates there. Because if anybody watches this, like, not right as it's going up later down the line, chances are they're gonna be watching this, like, start to finish on its own. Not be like, oh, he said that he's playing Dark Deity now, so I better tune into that, like, at the same kind of time frame that things were going on here. So I may as well end up chatting about what things are like there. It's kind of my mentality. I'm glad that my camera is sorted. I'm glad that I'm finally on the up and up from being sick, because it has not been fun coughing up a lung and feeling constantly like lightheaded and a little bit nauseous for the past week here. So yeah, maybe I'll do a little bit more Strumen again. Like the base stats, as in like what they start out with before they get any level ups. Is what it is, I think. I'm pretty sure those are the base stats. So, yeah, things have been a little bit crazy around here. In a few different ways, honestly. So, it's kind of fun sometimes to just be able to, like, hop into stream and, like, chill and make some progress through some incredibly stressful Fire Emblem maps and find some really crazy ways to extort the most ludicrous amount of EXP out of them. We got a lot of promotions this stream. We got some new recruits. This was some very major progress. As crazy as it is here in the States, well, I didn't mean in terms of, like, the overall climate in terms of the country. I just meant in terms of, like, stuff with my own life. Is what I more so meant. My dad just recently got back from, okay, I got you there. But my dad only just recently got back from a trip that he took that he wasn't expecting to, like, take until plans were made, like, on relatively short notice, as he had a friend that is really not doing super well right now. In the past week, my grandmother, my Oma, found herself in the emergency room twice, which is very, very concerning. There's a little bit of tension with stuff going on with my grandparents on my dad's side as well. Then there's, like, me being sick and not being able to focus on anything, and it's been a little bit of a mess. And there have been some difficult, like, social situations to sort out with friends, is what I'll say right now. The nature of that might end up coming up at some point, but that's not the kind of thing I'm gonna talk about right now, because it, yeah, I don't know how to start about, like, skirt around things there. But yeah, so that's stuff that might end up being discussed one day, but not anytime remotely soon, I don't think, because it's kind of ongoing stuff that's being dealt with as well when it comes to relationships with some. So yeah, it's a little bit of craziness. And tonight I was just like, yeah, let's just go ahead and do a little bit of stream of Fire Emblem for a little bit, how about? And enjoy, like, the camera here and stuff. But that's the basics version of what's been going on around here, essentially. Greatly appreciate everybody that tuned into another stream of Fire Emblem 6 here. Next time, what the hell is next time? Chapter 15, the Dragon Girl. Oh, I guess that's when we'll get, like, Percival. There's gonna be a chapter called Retaking the Capital. That sounds like a really big one there. I think we're gonna end up doing, like, some big story stuff here. Maybe I want to discuss it right now. How inconsiderate are my feelings? I'm sorry. I'm being so rude like that. Alright. I'm out of here, though. Greatly appreciate everybody that tuned in. I'm gonna get some sleep because it is now 4 in the morning. So I think it is appropriate to say it's time to get some sleep. So until next time, whenever that happens to be, I want to commit a decent bit to Final Fantasy VII in the near future as well, and finally get around to finishing off Ghost of Tsushima. I haven't streamed that game since the whole Twitch VOD situation and my computer getting reset. I have one last stream of that where I gotta finish it off. But part of me has been like, if I'm gonna shave my beard in the near future, then maybe I should, like, save the end of that playthrough for it being off then. And it's like the very final stream has, like, this big contrast. I don't know, I'll probably get around to doing stuff soon. I don't know. I'm out of here. Bye.